In the blink of an eye, a quiet night turned into utter chaos.
Great panel tonight in my think tank, all criminal defense attorneys, all really experienced. Joining us in Lansing, Michigan, criminal defense attorney Scott Grabel. And Scott, you know, we cover trials here all the time. Sometimes it's a jealous lover, right? And while it doesn't make sense to me, I understand how emotions can take over and how that ends up in a murder case. Sometimes it's over money. But here it's about absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Why did this happen, Scott?
Well, you might have to ask Dr. Phil for that one, because I agree with you. Even in my world, this seems not prototypical, because you don't see any motive whatsoever in this case. I mean, you know, whoever committed this act, it's hard to say what motivated them to actually take out a gun and shoot somebody. It's hard to get into that thought process, but it is unfortunate. It doesn't seem to take much in today's society to do anything, which is really an unfortunate, sad state of affairs. I wish I can give you an answer. Can't really explain it. It's really tragic.
Scott, what do you think about the chaos of that night? Do you think the jury ever gets a vivid picture of what exactly happened?
Well, I think they're going to get a picture, obviously, that many of the participants were certainly intoxicated. It is somewhat bizarre, and I don't know if the jury is going to be less sympathetic to the victim in the case, but I think what it does, it certainly is going to affect the credibility of the witnesses, which is critical to the prosecution's case, because obviously they bear the burden of proof. And in this particular case, you really don't have, I hate to say it, any credible witnesses here. Obviously, they're going to put Keeler on the stand, and I'm sure he's going to finger the defendant. But frankly, he may probably not be very credible. And the defense obviously only has to raise reasonable doubt. They only have to get one juror to obviously hang this thing. And it's far from a slam dunk. I know the defense attorney personally. I know the prosecutor personally. They're both very good attorneys, but I don't think this case is anywhere a slam dunk.
I agree with you.
Juries tend to be fickle.
And the reason I agree with you, Scott, is because I think there's a real problem here with putting the gun in the hands of the defendant. When we come back, we're going to talk about that. Scott Grabel, how is that going to play out in Lansing, Michigan, when Keener, who's really going to be the only witness, as Chanley told us, the only witness who's going to put the gun in Washington's hand, it looks like the defense is going to try to put the gun in Keener's hand.
Certainly makes sense to me. I mean, if anything, he's the only apparently eyewitness. The rest of them added together don't add up to much. There are some salient facts that circumstantially imply Washington did it, but maybe, I wouldn't believe any of those circumstantial facts, because these witnesses just don't appear credible. Obviously, if the jury believes Keener, the defense is finished. So not only are they going to say he's not being truthful because he's the one that committed the crime. Certainly plausible, certainly could raise reasonable doubt. It makes sense to me. He would have a reason to lie if he did it. He's going to blame somebody else. I think initially he lawyered up before he made any statement. It's not like he went right to the police.
Yeah, let's not.
The guy.
I don't want you to attack someone for getting a lawyer, right?
Up,
You're not attacking someone for getting a lawyer, are you?
No, I better not do that.
Don't do that.
No,
Lawrence.
I'm not going to do that. I'm saying the prosecutor, I would use it, though, but certainly if he has nothing to hide, he could have made a statement and said,
well, he's got immunity. Lawrence,
I'm not going to fault him for getting a lawyer.
He's got immunity. Keener, the star witness for prosecutors, got immunity. Let me ask Scott this. I mean, do the young people have cell phones out there in Lansing, Michigan? Because anytime there's some sort of, especially young women fighting, usually that's the first thing the guys do is whip out the cell phones to record the thing and put it on World Star Hip Hop.
We do get TMZ out here, and everybody does have cell phone service, in East Lansing. So,
are you shocked that there is no cell phone video here, Scott? Are you shocked there is no cell phone video?
I am a little. I'm surprised that somebody didn't have something on video. I'm a little bit surprised. Yes, it is. I would think that there would be some video evidence. Yes, I am surprised.
Scott, let me ask you about The yawning, we understand she actually had to take some NyQuil because she wasn't feeling well before she testified, but she didn't show up twice. So she was bench warranted, locked up the night before her testimony, then had some NyQuil, and then testified. Your thoughts, do you think the prosecution made a mistake by putting her on, or having her arrested and then dragging her in front of the judge and not trying to deal with it some other way? I don't know if there is another way.
I don't think there is. I think if they didn't have her arrested, I don't think they would have been able to procure her as a witness. Obviously, they weren't expecting her to take the stand and yawn and sort of appear almost disinterested. I don't think that was the look they were going after on the case. But sometimes with witnesses, you sort of have to take what you get and hope for the best sometimes. If you're the prosecution, they felt they took a risk, and I don't think she came across as very credible, but sometimes that happens. But I mean, you never know. Juries see things what they want to see. They may have gleaned something helpful out of it, but from my standpoint, I don't think she was a valuable prosecution witness or very believable. But I think they had to incarcerate her. If not, the
otherwise she does
probability
not
is she would have been
show
gone.
up. She does not even show up.